Hi there, welcome to your pick a card reading for how do they feel about you. In front of you, you will see there are 3 piles of cards numbered 1, 2 and 3. Take a deep breath and just focus, let yourself go and see if you are drawn to one particular pile of cards. Number 1, number 2 or number 3. In the description box, I'll put a timestamp for 1, 2 and 3. And you can go straight to the timestamp, find your answers for how do they feel about you. This is suitable for singles, couples, situationships. If you're drawn to this, there will be a message here for you. So just relax, choose your pile of cards, and I will see you on the other side. Namaste. Hello, you chose pile number 1. Okay, number 1. I have not looked at these yet. I never look at them when I'm doing pick a card readings. I like to have a reveal when you have a reveal. Okay. Okay. There's so many cards for this one. I can't believe it. Wow. Okay, number 1s. You may be dealing with an air sign, Gemini, Libra or Aquarius. You may be a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. First card that stands out to me here is I've got the King of Swords. When I have the King of Swords, traditionally it does represent Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But also if you look at the card, it represents a certain coolness. There's a bit of an icy blueness to the King of Swords. And there is certainly a sense of, what do I have to do to get through to this person when you get the King of Swords? That's what I'm feeling for you. I'm feeling that you may be caught up in a loop of trying, really trying. Maybe you're trying to work out their feelings, you're trying to read this person because they're not supplying you with ready, easy, warm, heartfelt information. Next to the King of Swords, I've got the 9 of Swords. Again, another air sign card. You may have air in your chart, but I'm getting more that this is water signs dealing with air signs, probably. It feels like that kind of energy. I don't know, it feels like my hair is stuck on my face. The King of Swords, even if he's not an air sign, he's cold. Now that doesn't mean he's a bad person. It doesn't mean he's deliberately being that way. It means he's a difficult dog to keep on the porch. It's difficult when it comes to getting him to talk. I'm getting for this, why won't you talk to me? Why won't you talk to me? Why doesn't this person talk? I feel like this person talked in the past, and that they said something in the past that they are not now, that you crave hearing now. And it feels like there's been rounds maybe of conversations, or for some of you text messages or some kind of electronics. My electronic communication suddenly looks like this in my hand. Electronic communication. That sounds so old-fashioned, doesn't it? Some of that newfangled electronic communication. So it could have been over social media, it could have been Snapchat, whatever you kids are using these days. I don't know, I'm so old-fashioned. It could be letters, you know. But either way, it feels like they said something before which led you to expect a certain level of something, and that this has gone a bit cold, that it's gone a bit missing in action. It's a bit emotionally unavailable. This person, this King of Swords character, who is certainly the subject of your, if you've chosen number 1, is, I want to say not a great talker. But it may be that in their job they do public speaking, or they, you know, they write stuff, and that you think, well, this person can communicate perfectly well with everybody except me. And there's a sense here of frustration about it. And what can I do? I've got the Seven of Wands in reverse. Now, I quite like this card in the reverse, because in the upright, it's a card of repetitive fighting. It's definitely the card you get when you're having an argument with somebody that never changes, that is toxic, that doesn't see light, that doesn't move on, which is a great deal of arguments between couples, isn't it? And significant others, or situationships, or whatever this situation is. Often the arguments we have are very circular as human beings, because we're human, you know, and very often, and I think this might be the case with you, number one, your wounded soldier and their wounded soldier are kind of engaged in a battle behind the scenes, which, when you first met this person, or during your connection with this person, there may have been quite a lot of banter, that you may have done stuff over, like, again, I'm going to sound really old-fashioned, but you know when people kind of play Scrabble together on phones? You know, that kind of vibe. Or there was witty texting, you know, or fill in the blanks, or in-jokes. It feels like a lot of wit. Maybe a bit of sarcasm, you know, that kind of bordering on sarcasm thing. And it feels like that has now tipped over into soul searching on your part. Now, this is tricky, because you want to maintain, as all people do, good boundaries against people who are not on the same page, or maybe toxic or harmful, or all of those things. But at the same time, there is a call here. I've got the Nine of Wands in reverse that says, if you are feeling defensive, because there's a lot of defensiveness in this, then this reading is not telling you to drop your boundaries or to drop your standards. It's telling you that you may need to become vulnerable, and that actually you may not entirely get the result you want. But if you stay defended, you're going to end up staying in this Nine of Swords energy, where some of the things you're thinking are kind of generated by fear. Now, that isn't your fault, and it's not anyone's fault. It's natural when there is a void, and there is a void of communication here, for you to fill that void with thoughts and ideas. And as humans, and we're trying to protect ourselves, the ego tends to come up with difficult things, you know. That's why the Nine of Swords has the snaky haired Gorgon ladies who are feeding the demons of this young child. The silence of this person is feeding your demons, and part of this involves not just how you communicate with this person, or even how they feel about you, but part of this involves how you feel about you. I know it's not always what you want to hear, but it's crucial to this connection, okay? You're in a Hanged Man situation. This is a suspended card. It's where things are not ground to a halt, but they're kind of in abeyance. They're sort of hanging there. And the universe wants you to use this time, however long or short, and I don't think it is going to be that long before you do hear from this person. Although when you do, I think it's going to be cryptic, quiet and small, but we'll get to that. The universe wants you to really examine your divine feminine energy, male or female, okay? We've got the High Priestess. Here is Persephone going down into the subconscious, into the underworld, and being quite prepared to do that. And next to her, strangely, in Greek mythology, Persephone's mother is Demeter, and here she is. Now, while Persephone is in the underworld, Demeter is mourning, and the crops don't grow, and it's winter. This is mother and daughter divine feminine connection. So there may be something in you about your mother and daughter divine feminine connection. However that plays out for this, that you can look at. Looking at wounded divine feminine. It's weird. It's a weird message to get in a how do they feel about you reading. They know that they have hurt you. This person knows that they have done something, that they've hurt you, that their silence has caused damage. They know that. You don't even need to tell them, they know that. Along with the Empress and the High Priestess, I get the Magician, which is a masculine energy. Feminine and masculine energy is balanced here. The Magician for me is very good for using for a daydream meditation. So when you've got 5 minutes, you go to this crossroads, could be any crossroads, you meet the Magician and you just have a conversation. And this conversation can be about this connection, this person, but the only kind of caveat to that is you need to ask the Magician, how much of this is to do with me? How much of this am I accountable for in terms of my own need to do shadow work or my own need to get in touch with myself? My wounded self, so that when I make decisions about this person, when they do communicate with me, that I am choosing out of love and not out of fear. Okay, the Knight of Cups. This person wants to come forward and explain something. This is a move forward from the Page of Cups. Page of Cups is a young page stumbling about with a fish in a cup, probably stinks a bit, and he's like, I got a fish in a cup, come on, let's go. And you're thinking, really? Now, by the time he reaches maturity to the knight status, he's got a horse, he's got plumage, he's kind of cleaned up his act a bit. This person has either already approached you a few times quite badly, maybe just texting, and you're thinking, is that it? It feels like they're going to up the game a little bit, but this person finds it very difficult to communicate. I took two message cards. These are created by Twin Flame Guidance 555, and they're called the Blunt Truth Edition, because here at Gemstone Tarot, we like a bit of blunt truth in our pick a card readings. Okay, I am sorry for lying to you. So something that they have said to you, and you probably already know this, wasn't quite right, it wasn't quite true, it wasn't authentic, and it was not worthy of you. I'm so scared I can't face this right now. They feel scared. They may come across as witty and confident and maybe popular and all of those things, but they are not feeling confident about talking to you. That's why I'm saying when you hear from this person, it's going to be cryptic. It's like a joke. They might come across with it, send you a joke, send you a funny video, forward you something, and you'll think, just, you know, if you want to talk to me, pick up the phone, for God's sake. I'm not sure that they have that kind of confidence with you. They feel scared, they feel frightened, they feel a bit guilty. Now, over here, I'm just trying to see where the box is for these, because I can't remember what they're called. I think they're Belinda Eames. Belinda Eames, like love oracle cards. We get creativity. You and this person share brilliant mind, I don't want to say mindfulness, but you share a brilliant mind together. You may have worked on a project, or you could work on a project together. There is something here about joining together in the creative sphere that would be very helpful to both of you. It's a real meeting of minds, but also it's a meeting of wounds, which is, of course, very creative. I mean, if you think about poems, songs, novels, films, where do they come from but usually places of pain? The difficulties you've experienced with this person will propel you to be creative. Now that, of course, in and of itself isn't enough of a reason to be with somebody, and that's something that over the next few weeks, I would say, and we have a eclipse coming up at the end of May that I think will also, a full moon eclipse will also make some things very clear to you about this. It just feels like there needs to be a frank and honest conversation from this person to you, or you won't be able to trust them again. They're scared they can't face it at the moment. Use this time with the Empress, the High Priestess and the Magician to go within, to ask yourself, why am I here? What do I really want? Because by the time this person comes to talk to you, you really want to be clear about that, okay? In the extended reading, I'm going to look further at this King of Swords. I'm going to look behind the veil and I'm going to see what's brought them to this point, and also what's going on with this lying card, the guilt, whatever they're kind of hiding. I'm going to have a bit of a dig into that and see what that's looking like for you. But also I'm going to look at what your best way forward is. If there's a clear advice from the tarot about your best way forward. So to follow the extended reading, there will be a link in the description box, and I'll see you on the other side, or otherwise do like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Namaste. Hello, number 3. Okay, let's have a look at yours. Again, like number 1 and number 2, I haven't looked at these yet. Number 3. Okay, what do we need to know? What do we need to know for number 3? Oh, wow. Okay. Gosh. Big cards for you. Wow, if this resonates, number 3, there'll be an extended reading for this, and the link is in the description box below. It will just say extended reading number 3. Ooh, that's powerful. Okay, got the Devil and the Tower. Let's deal with that first. I know. Woohoo! This Devil card is very inviting. There is a very physical connection with you. You may have also been drawn to number 2 as well. There's a very physical connection here. There's a very deep connection with this person. When you get the Devil card, particularly with the Tower involved as well, there's electricity and there's connection, and there are also chains, you know, there are also ties. You can see it there with the Devil. You can just see the ties in the hands. There's a kind of a puppet. Just love his hair. It's amazing. Glittery hair. You had me at glittery hair. Okay. This person is very attracted to you. Very attracted to you. But boy, are they complicated. You know me, if you watch my YouTube readings, you know that I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is complicated. Okay, I get the energy of it being complicated. They come with strings attached. I think you probably already know that. Okay. And boy, is that some stringage, because right next to the Devil card I've got the 3 of Swords. Now look, it's this heart that's kind of tied with string at all sides, that's been sewn together so many times and patched up. Okay, I would say, and people have different ideas about this, and feel free as well to call it what you want to call it, that you and this person have a kind of soul contract of some kind. You have a connection of some kind which really takes both of you to the depths. You know, it takes you into the shadows, and your life is never the same again after you've met somebody like this. And whether that is a good thing or a bad thing, you will find out, okay? You probably already have some idea about that. They feel sometimes that you're a bit of a threat because you disturb their balance. In other words, they have a certain, it's giving me an itchy ear, they have a certain way of operating in relationships, and it may have served them for some time to behave that way in relationships, keeping things quite separate, keeping things, being in control and being in charge and calling the shots. You know, this person tries to make that happen. I feel like with the Devil card, they may have come from an environment in which they were never in control when they were younger, and they were always forced either into obedience or repression or something like that. And that this makes them very keen to call the shots at this point. And sometimes it can make them defensive and difficult and complicated and difficult to deal with. So in how they feel about you, now it's giving me an itchy nose, it feels like they're a nut that needs to crack, is what I get. Because we have that Devil next to the Three of Swords. The complications of the heart. This is your heart and their heart. It's both of you. Both of your hearts are patched and mended from your difficult experiences. So I would say that that is your soul contract with each other, is that you are both wounded in the same way, even though I think you express it very differently. Now the Tower card tells me that there's going to be some kind of catharsis about this. Now it could be a big screaming row. It could be, it feels more like, and it's more likely to be, an eclipse. Now depending on when you hear this reading, there is an eclipse at the end of May, a total lunar eclipse. But also I think full moons affect your relationship. So have a look on a Google calendar, or just Google moon calendar, or you can get a moon diary. I've got one. And have a look at when the moon is full, because it's very meaningful to you and this person. They almost remind me of, like, this is really weird, a sexy werewolf. I know. What can I say? It feels like this person knows you and you know them. I bet when you met this person, you felt like you knew them. It's that feeling of, I know you. In the twin flame message cards, I get, I am affected by the cosmic and collective energies. This person is, you or they might be a Cancerian, because Cancerians are so affected by the moon, it's unbelievable. So you might have that energy going on. Also, I get here, I'm focused on work. They may use any method to be avoidant, because softness to them spells terror. I actually think this person is feeling terrified of being vulnerable. So they cover up their vulnerability with smoke screens and anything to keep you at a distance and to remain in control of the situation. Okay. Get the Queen of Pentacles energy, and I think this is you, because quite honestly, this is a complicated person, and you would need a certain amount of stability and patience to still be with this person or even connected with this person. I call the Queen of Pentacles the Queen of Velvet Waiting, because she's not actually waiting. She is comfortable where she is. What is very important when you're dealing with this person and how they feel about you and how you feel about them is that you are comfortable in your own skin, because you will not get that stability from them. That isn't their business. It's not the way they operate. They have come from a chaotic life. They've come from a chaotic bunch of experiences, and it's too late for them to become the stable kind of watchtower now. You know, it's just not. They'd have to be a kind of one of those miracles, you know, like in the Tom Hanks film Big, when lightning strikes the pier and all that. And let's face it, we got the tower, but it's unlikely they're going to have a complete transformation. They're not. They're still going to be the same complicated person. They're still really into you. Those two facts remain, okay? Queen of Pentacles says, are you stable enough in your own environment? Have you got your own friends? Have you got your own life? Are you happy with things the way they are? Are you settled enough in yourself, in your own skin, that you can still be with somebody who feels... They feel unstable, but they also feel the need to know that they can call on you and affect your behaviour as well. Now, the Belinda Grace card that you get is sexual freedom. And this is a card again about the physical. They may have had a lot of relationships, been quite experimental, and that's their pattern. You know, they call it wallpapering, don't they? When you split up with somebody and you just like very quickly wallpaper over the relationship with another person. You know, it's like, next, not going to think about it, I'm not going to feel. This person does not like to feel. Now, with that Tower card, there is some interruption to this, and it's been a long time coming. And I don't know whether it's, you know, the experiences of lockdown or something to do with work or an emotional experience that they have to do with family life or whatever it is, or they go into therapy or whatever it is. They're going to have a wake-up call. It's very interesting. Now here we've also got next to the Tower the Four of Cups, which is the ultimate card of I don't care. This is a person who definitely did care a lot when they were little and got their fingers burnt whenever they expressed that they cared. They may have been bullied by parents, family, school, whatever it is. They may never have told you about it, or maybe they have, I don't know. But it really affects their ability to be vulnerable. They feel it's almost impossible for them to be vulnerable. And again, like I say, with the Queen of Pentacles, it's whether you can live with that. Whether you can live with somebody who fears expressing themselves to you. Chuck Spezzano card we get for you is the Victim card of belief. Believing that you are stuck in these ways, in these roles, in the history that someone else has written for you. I have a feeling that your experiences that mirror this person's difficult experiences, you are growing from them, and you seek to shatter the bell jar, and they're stuck in theirs. Now, I don't think that you can smash that for them. I don't think you can ever make someone else grow. You can't, you know, they have to see it for themselves. And I feel like with this Tower card that there will be a lightning. It's often an epiphany. They may have already had this epiphany. And next to the Tower, we get the Six of Wands, which is the winner, winner, chicken dinner success card. And I like this. You need to know that you're a winner, with or without this person. And strangely, as soon as you genuinely know that you're a winner without this person, that's when they show up for you. It's very interesting energy. In the extended reading, I'm going to look at that Devil card, the Three of Swords, the Tower. I'm going to also look at a bit about the background of this person, a bit about what's hiding in the shadows for this person. And also, and probably most importantly, I think as well, your best course of action and your best way forward in order to have the most successful outcome that you can have with this person. Because, yeah, this is your life, isn't it? This is your well-being and your power that's at stake. And it feels like you're undergoing an awakening. And when we undergo an awakening, we cause towers in other people's lives. You are connected with this person in that your small movement can cause a seismic shift in their understanding, okay? Whew, complicated. I'm going to go do the extended. So if you click the link for extended reading number 3 in the description box, I'll see you on the other side, and do like, share and subscribe. Namaste. Hello, number 2. Okay, let's have a look. Just like the rest of them, I haven't seen any of these cards because I really like seeing them as you're going to. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, I'm not reading reversals in yours. Wow. There will be an extended reading to this, and the link will be in the description box. So if this resonates with you, number 2, you can continue with that. Right. Wowzers. First card that kind of catches my attention here, there's such a lot of masculine energy in this. I mean, it's just all over it. In the middle of your reading, we've got the Emperor card. Divine masculine energy, the father of the tarot. Also for me, whenever I see the Emperor card, I always remember to, so I've got my Sloth hot water bottle here. I always remember to ask myself, how does this situation relate to my relationship with my father? And I know that's a weird question, or it might not be. You might be thinking, whew, yeah, okay, because there is some connection here with the masculine, definitely. Now, next to the Emperor, I've got the King of Wands, looking straight at the Emperor. And again, the King of Wands is a very confident masculine figure. He can kind of range from anything to do with someone who's just really comfortable in their own skin to someone who people might regard as a bit of a player, you know, who's got so confident that they're just absolutely charismatic, confident, masculine, you know, an alpha male type energy. I'm kind of getting here some sort of alpha male type energy. Really interesting energy. Now we also have the King of Pentacles, a very different kind of energy, but another example of masculine energy. King of Pentacles was more about the earth signs, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, about conservation, about being reliable, about turning up, about money. King of Wands is the fire signs, Sagittarius, Aries, Leo, more about passion and fun and dancing and, you know, being out there. This is two very different people, but I'm getting the feeling they are the same person, but just that the person that you're dealing with has two different faces. They have two different modes of being. It may be that when you're dealing with them that they are quiet, and when they're in public they're kind of outgoing and gregarious, and you're thinking, Christ, who is this person? You know, there is something going on in your situation with this person where you're at somewhat of a crossroads. You need to make some kind of choice or sacrifice. If we look over here, we've got the Lovers. Now the Lovers is Gemini energy. It's about choices. It's about sacrifices. In the early days of tarot, it used to be called the Choice. This is a person that you're dealing with. They feel very proud. They feel proud about being able to have their freedom, to be able to make their own mind up, to be able to go their own way. They may be a musician or some kind of, this is weird, artist or tattoo artist, or they've got a lot of tattoos. That's just for one or two of you. Their tattoos are very much an expression of themselves and their freedom in their body and their skin. That is coming up a lot. This is a person who knows how to move. They may be into their exercise, okay? You are appealing to this person because of your differences. It feels like there is a softness about you. They feel about you that there is a softness that they find compellingly attractive. But you must notice, I would say here, in how they feel about you, that the chemistry is pretty good. They feel very attracted to you, that's for sure. But notice in the Lovers, and I always notice this in this Rider-Waite Lovers, that we have this slightly biblical thing. There is a snake wound around that tree. And if you watch my daily videos, you will know there is fruit. There is hanging fruit on the tree. Whenever we see hanging fruit, we know that there is just some kind of, not badness, but there's slightly a dark side to this. So there is slightly a dark side to this person and your connection. It's quite exciting. The chemistry of it must be pretty good. They feel very they feel strongly about you, but they also feel equally as strongly about their freedom. This is a person that might find commitment to be a bit difficult or something they haven't been very good at in the past. Twin flame, blunt truth, message cards. Others are trying to tell me what to do and they don't like it. This is a person that probably defied authority when they were younger, might have left school early, didn't like being told what to do by parents, by authority, by leaders, that kind of thing. I am changing. I want to be what you deserve. You would think with that in mind that they would approach you in a softer way, but I don't think they know how. This is definitely somebody who is a bit of a bull in a china shop when it comes to the finer points of talking through emotions. I like the energy of this person. They're entertaining. They're energetic. But they miss a lot of detail. So this is the kind of person that can forget your birthday, but turn up out of the blue and give you the best date you've ever had, but you weren't expecting them. And of course, that depends on what kind of person you are, what your tolerance is like, and how much you need reliability and stability in your life. King of Pentacles. That's a decision I think that will be coming up for you in the next few weeks with this person, because you can't kind of live on chemistry alone. You can for a while, and maybe you did for a while, but you can't for longer than a few months. You know, there needs to be shared values, usually some kind of repetition and some kind of knowledge of when somebody's going to do something, when they're going to call, they'll call when they say they will, you know, all that kind of stuff. We've got here the Four of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles is someone who does actually keep their feelings to themselves. This person has very strong feelings for you, and they're definitely putting quite a lot of effort into not expressing them, and not expressing them badly. I think they want to be sure that that when they do, that it's going to be the right thing. You know, that it's going to be dramatic enough. Sorry about that, there's somebody at the door. It feels like they don't want to say anything unless it's going to be dramatic or entertaining enough. It feels very much like they like to make you laugh. They like to entertain you. They like to be almost like the clown, you know, for you. Which could be frustrating for you at times, because there are times, and I notice here you've got the 2, the 3 and the 4 of Pentacles, where you just need to hear straight talk from somebody without any kind of frills and flowers and gestures and all of that stuff. What they dream of is the grand gesture. Okay, that's what they dream of for you. Now, Belinda Eames here, I've got a Love Oracle card, and we have the Distorted Masculine. Now, the Distorted Masculine is a card that talks about valuing masculine concepts like power, money, and, well, you can see here there's like a tank, a really weird digital watch, and then the banking district, the police, authority, military, bricks and mortar, boundaries, and of course, if you look carefully, there's a snake there as well. This person feels strongly about you, but they do feel equally as strongly about their freedom, and they feel the need to exercise it, and at times that gets in the way of treating you with the respect that you deserve, I think, or that they want to show you, to be honest. It feels like, and it may feel to you like you're dealing with someone young, like you're almost dealing with a child, that their childlike playfulness, which can be so kind of entertaining and nice and endearing, at times drives you insane. I can feel it might drive you insane, particularly if you're dealing with a fire sign or an air sign, okay? Now, the relationship card I get is holding on. It wouldn't be advised to try and hang on to this person if they need space. This is a person that values their freedom so much that if that is the case, it would be good to give them as like the biggest amount of space they can possibly dream of. Because again, like a child, when you give them that enormous amount of space, they will come running back to you, okay? They can't help themselves. But if you try and fence them in, they're the person who's going to bolt, okay? In the extended reading, I'm going to look at the Lovers, the Emperor, the King of Wands. I'm going to look at the softer side of this person. I'm going to have a dig around in their past, and I'm going to also look at what is the next course of action, and if there's anything that you need to know going on in the background with this person, any secrets, okay? The link for that is in the description box for number 2 extended reading, so you can click that and I'll see you on the other side. And do like, share and subscribe. Namaste.